I could stay here forever. Should I buy a second home here?
Buying a second home is a huge decision, and it's easy to get blinded by the ocean breezes, the fabulous sunsets, not to mention these gorgeous, gorgeous homes. Welcome back. It's Cori, your local real estate expert with Monmouth County Dream Homes, powered by RE/MAX Central, located right here in Marlboro Township. If this is your first time here, you may want to think about subscribing. Go ahead, tap on that little bell icon, and you will be among the first to know when my new videos come out each and every Monday. As your Monmouth County realtor, I love working with out-of-town buyers as well as local Monmouth County residents who are thinking about purchasing a second home. And most of the time, they're talking about a beach house. I've worked with many, many people who want to find a place where they can kick back, relax, and enjoy the Jersey Shore life while getting away from the normal hustle and bustle of their everyday life. Sounds pretty good, right? Now, I'm sure you're thinking, oh, great, here's a local realtor who is set on pushing and telling me exactly why I should run out and buy a second home or a beach home, right? Wrong. Owning a beach house is not for everyone. And my hope is with this video, you'll ask yourself some tough questions that may help you decide if owning a second home is even something you should consider. So in no particular order, here are 5 questions you really need to think about and ask yourself before you make the decision on whether or not it's a good idea to purchase a second home. So the first thing that you really need to think about, how much time will you have to be able to spend and enjoy a second home? For example, if you know you only get 2 weeks off a year, it may really not make sense for you to go ahead and purchase that beach home, at least not at this point. The cost of renting an Airbnb or even a hotel room for 2 weeks is absolutely a more economical way than going out and spending all that money purchasing a second home. On the other hand, if you're able to spend several weeks or even many long weekends at a vacation home or a second home, that may make more sense. You need to sit down and think realistically, how much time will you be able to spend at this second home? The next thing to consider, and it's a big one, can you afford another home? Yup, owning a second home, especially a beach house, sounds amazing, but can you even afford it? We're going to have to talk about your finances. Did you know that a second home can be just as expensive or even more expensive than your primary residence? Are you planning on paying cash for this second home? If not, you need to think about the cost of a mortgage. This would be the perfect time to sit down with a lender and a realtor to discuss your options. I will say, right now, interest rates are ridiculously low. So if you were ever going to have the opportunity to buy a second house, this just may be the time, and it may be the only time you can actually afford it. In addition, you really need to think about all the additional monthly expenses that go along with home ownership. This may include such things such as utilities, internet, pest control, landscaping, home insurance, and the list goes on and on and on. You may want to think about creating a spreadsheet and itemizing all your expenses because monthly expenses add up and they add up quickly. Number 3 is something not everybody thinks about. Do you prefer to travel often and explore new areas, or do you prefer to always visit the same spot? If you're the adventurous kind who likes to explore and travel to new places all the time, owning a vacation home or a beach home just may not be in your best interest. On the other hand, if you like going to the same place regularly and becoming familiar with your surroundings, then buying a home in a specific area does make a little more sense. But it needs to be in a location and a town that you will enjoy for years to come. So choosing the right town and area to purchase a vacation home is very important as well. You can start to live like a local when you start returning to a second home time and time again. You'll be familiar with the grocery stores, the restaurants, and it'll feel like you're part of that community. Next up on the list, who will look after the home when you're not there? For the most part, remember, you can't just leave your home, such a big investment, unattended for weeks or months on end. The hot water heater can leak, the refrigerator can turn off, you could be invaded by pests. You get the point. It can be risky. And the list of things that could happen or go wrong when the house is unattended goes on and on and on. How often are you planning on heading to your second home? And don't forget the off months. If you're buying a house here in New Jersey along the shore, there will be a long spread of time during the winter months where you may not go to the home at all. You're going to need to think about if there's someone you can trust that will check in on your home when you're not there, and if you're not planning on going back often enough, somebody has to be your eyes and ears when you're not there. And finally, another one. Are you planning on renting out this home for a period of time? Vacation homes along the Jersey Shore bring in a pretty nice amount of money on weekly or even monthly rentals. There are many people who look to rent a home at the Jersey Shore during the summer months for a week or even an extended period of time. Collecting rent money could be a fabulous way for you to subsidize your vacation home. But keep in mind, there are laws and rules and regulations you should be made aware of before purchasing a home and thinking you're going to rent it out. So there you have it. 5 questions you really need to think about before making the decision, should I or shouldn't I buy a second home, especially if I'm thinking about a beach home along the Jersey Shore. Did I bring up a few points you may not have given much thought to? For example, if you could buy a vacation home and collect rent during a couple of weeks or even months a year, would that change the decision for you? That may decide whether or not you can or cannot afford to buy this house at all. No matter what decision you make, the Jersey Shore, in my opinion, is magical. So many different towns, so many unique places to shop and eat. If at the end of this video you think to yourself, maybe owning a second home is not such a smart idea, there are a ton of bed and breakfasts and hotels you can make reservations at and enjoy the Jersey Shore for shorter periods of time. And for a lot less money than purchasing a second home. But if you think you just may be ready to own a piece of paradise and you are ready to explore possibly purchasing a home along the Jersey Shore, give me a call. I'd love the chance to at least talk and explore your options and discuss the different shore towns that make up Monmouth County. Whatever decision you make, I'm sure it'll be the right one. Whether you purchase a home at the Jersey Shore, you take a few day trips with your family to enjoy the fabulous beaches, or you consider checking into a hotel or a bed and breakfast for a few days. Any way you go, you'll have a wonderful time exploring the different towns here in Monmouth County. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I will see you next Monday when I'll be back to talk about something else that has to do with real estate, Monmouth County, or Marlboro Township. Take care. Bye-bye.